Rural and Urban Grassroots Business Women Association, RUAN1, is one of the associations on the ground that has benefited from LECDA USA. As you may recall, during the State of LECDA USA interview with CEO Proson Demanu, we learned that RUAN1 has received funds from the LECDA USA.
We disburse money to a non-profit organization, a grassroots non-profit organization called RUPA that is based in Norwest, and it is run by one of the BLM daughters from Wabane area. And so she reached out to us about sanitary health, and sanitary pad, providing sanitary pad to secondary school girls in Wabane area, and we disbursed money for that. And she came. We received a comprehensive report about the impact of that gesture.
GASA Media reached out to the coordinator of this association, Nemo Nkong, to find out more about the activity of the association. After sharing one of her project reports on World Menstrual Hygiene Month in 2022, under the theme One Girl, One Path of Path Challenge, GASA Media decided to grant her an interview to learn more about this menstrual hygiene project. Okay, yes. Good morning and welcome to GASA Media. Can you just briefly state your name of the organization, and what are your mission?
Good morning. My name is Nembo Ekong. I'm the coordinator for the Rural and Urban Grassroots Businessmen Association, RUBWA. This is an organization which is based in Bamenda, working in the Northwest and the Southwest region. It was registered in the Southwest region. Some of the areas in which we work in, our objective is to raise awareness on women's rights, promote the education of the girl child, and to empower women, provide humanitarian assistance to the vulnerable. We as well carry out services on sexual reproductive health rights, where we do menstrual hygiene management trainings for adolescent girls and young women. We train them on sex education and bodily autonomy. Under some of the activities, some of the objectives that we do, we as well train women who the society consider the most vulnerable on income generating activities to enable them sustain themselves and avoid, or as a means to fight against gender-based violence. This organization is located in Bamenda, like I earlier on said.
Okay. Yeah, you talked about giving health education, especially to teenagers. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that project?
Okay. When I talk about sexual reproductive health and rights, this is a whole branch on its own, and RUBWA has been carrying out activities under sexual reproductive health and rights. We have been doing menstrual hygiene management. Under menstrual hygiene management, that is where we have to do with menstruation, which is part of health. We have carried out activities in Bamenda, in the Southwest region, in Lebialem, which is one of the most hard-to-reach areas now in Cameroon because of the crisis. So we have as well carried out activities there on menstruation, that is on menstrual hygiene management, where we have distributed sanitary pads. We have trained adolescent girls and young women on how to manage their periods. We have trained them on how to calculate their periods. We have as well trained them on how to produce these sanitary pads, how to manage themselves when they are menstruating. We as well did sensitization with some few young boys in their class, in the communities and classes in some of the schools we visited in Lebialem, where we talked to them and tried to denounce the whole stigma of menstruation on young girls. So we have as well done a lot of work on sex education, where we have trained these young girls to know themselves, value what they have, bodily autonomy, where we have also taught them, given them red zones on their body, how to manage themselves, which one is what they should consider as maybe assault or harassment and all stuff like that.
Okay. Yes. I think through I was reading some of the through our finding, we saw that LECDA USA, which is Liberian Culture and Development Association, under the leadership of Professor Nemanu Maike, funded one of the projects can you briefly tell me and our audience how much was it and what were those funding used for?
Okay. The LECDA funded one of our projects, which was bringing menstrual hygiene management services to the doorsteps of adolescent girls and young women in the BLM southwest region of Cameroon. We were funded with $600. This money we used in providing some of these services which I have named. We bought sanitary pads, disposable and non-disposable, like the reusable pads, which you can use and you wash again. We provided them with soap so that you could use for hygiene. We provided them with menstrual beads to use in calculating the menstrual cycle. So basically, we use the funding to provide services for these young girls in the BLM. We focused. Okay.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you. Without going so much into other details, do you know which particular region in the BLM or particular part of the BLM where you carry on this project?
Okay. Due to security issues and due to difficulties in accessing the whole of the BLM, we could not access the whole of the BLM because of security issues. So we got to somebody who could easily access, grant us access to Wabane. So we worked in Wabane, in 3 communities in Wabane.
Okay. So throughout all that time, what were some of the challenges that maybe you have?
The first challenge we had was insecurity. The very first challenge we had was insecurity because with the crisis, we know the BLM is a red zone and it is very difficult to access. Considering the fact, despite the fact that we had, let me say, a middle person who could easily coalesce us or link us to the communities where we could work, because the other regions, the other communities or the other subdivisions, we could not easily access them. But with the help of a few people in the community, we could access Wabane. So as I said, insecurity is one of the main challenges. We had inaccessibility. Let me not say inaccessibility. It's difficult to access this area. The roads, I don't know if I should put the roads or the topography of Wabane, it's really not accessible. So it was really difficult. Those are some of the challenges we faced. And we also had the issue of language barrier, because most of the communities we went to, we had to look for somebody who is going to permit us or is going to help us communicate in the dialect, because most of the young girls, they don't go to school because of the crisis. So most of them have the notion of maybe they just want to speak the dialect. Maybe when you speak in English, they want to listen to someone who speaks in the dialect. So we had that issue of language barrier.
So are you saying the teenagers that are already at the puberty age were not able to speak English, or maybe in Pidgin?
We had a number of them. We had a number of them with such situations because, as I can tell me, because of the crisis, some of these girls, they just don't want to, because people say that there is no school, they don't want to go to school. What they focus on is marriage at an early age. So these are some of the reasons why we had to step in to educate these girls on sex education, educate them on their sexual reproductive health and rights, so that they are aware of what they are engaging themselves in. That is why we brought body autonomy to their doorsteps, we brought menstrual hygiene management to their doorsteps, because Le BLM, let me put Wabane, it's an area where people don't visit often, and people and these girls tend to suffer the most because it's like they are left out in whatever humanitarian action people are giving out there. So this is I can say it's a call for other humanitarian actors to focus in these suburbs where people hardly go there, because these people in these communities, they are those who are suffering the most.
Okay. Apart from the funding that you receive from LECDA USA, what other source do you have funding to run your organization?
Basically, we have funds. We don't have like a main funder right now, but we have funds from supporters of our organization. Maybe when we do our app, we design a project, a proposal that we send to people, and whoever wishes or well-wishers of the organization, they send in what they have, and then we carry out our activities. And sometimes we have contributions from members of the organization as well.
Okay. Yeah, Nede, thank you so much for your time. I think we'll be running out of time right now. We'll have a very short period to be with you. Once more, it's my pleasure having you here at GASA Media.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay, you have a good day.
Okay, thank you too. You too have a good day.